Welcome to Center Stage. I'm Mikhailo Curry. Join us today for my exclusive interview with award-winning Canadian-Ukrainian singer-songwriter Teresa Sikirka, who has just released a new Ukrainian CD. I'm very anxious to hear all about it. Enjoy. Teresa was the first runner-up on Canadian Idol, and she is also a Juno Award nominee. Her career has taken her across Canada many times, and now she has gone back to her roots and has just released a Ukrainian CD.
I have always had the hope to record a Ukrainian album. It's just part of my life, you know. I grew up with this music, and it just seemed like the right progression to take. Even though, you know, I put out about 3 albums before this, and it just seemed like this was the time in my life where I could musically sort of change the songs and still stick with these melodies that I've known for years and years. So it just kind of seemed like time.
Emotionally, was it difficult to go back, or as you say, because you grew up with this, was it comfortable?
Yeah, definitely. I found it really comfortable and really easy to get into the music. I mean, it's in my blood, you know. So it was a really comforting feeling to be recording these songs. Absolutely.
Teresa has been performing all her life, and like many of us, she got her start performing within the Ukrainian community.
One of the best gifts I think my parents ever really taught me was humility, and I really do believe that's a Ukrainian trait, to be humble, and I've never really met many Ukrainians that are braggers, you know. Like it's the culture definitely has shaped me as a human being for certain. Yeah.
Річка горі вкрила, полонину всю залила, а у постать сніжно-біла, зовсім не пізнав. Він дивився в очі сині, тихо спершись на соснині, і слова ніжні любовні до неї промовляв всю. Розкажу про любов, щастя ждає, звук трембіти лунає, а що серце кохає, бо гарячому вже пройшло гаряче літо, сушу любив скрито.
Originally from Saskatoon, Teresa now makes her home in Montreal. What a huge change.
Yes, I've been living in Montreal now for about 2 years, and I'm trying to learn a little bit of French just to mix things up a little bit, and hopefully we'll write a French album at some point in my life down the road. But it's just another challenge in life. That's the reason why I moved there.
And because it's so European there, is it inspiring you in other, perhaps musical directions that you hadn't thought you would go?
Absolutely, yeah. Montreal is just such a lively city, and there's so many different musicians, and it's so easy to meet people that are into creating, you know. So it's pretty cool to be in that. It feels like I'm foreign, you know, and it's kind of a comforting thing, even though it's a little bit scary too.
На соснині, сильно пісню вихравав всю сеню, я тобі на трепіті, лиш одні цілі в світі, розкажу про любов. бачимо жаль.
Teresa Sikirka's new CD is a wonderful collection of her favorite Ukrainian songs.
I wanted to do songs that were recorded like other bands have recorded them over and over and over again, but I really wanted to take it in a different genre and change the arrangements of the songs, and I think it turned out really well. It's definitely really different. I started recording the album acoustically, just with my acoustic guitar and vocal tracks, and that's what we based the album on. So the arrangements were, I would say, Carissa Kloposhak was a huge influence on the arrangements of the songs, for sure. But Benoit Morier, who helped me, who was the producer and the engineer of the album, he's not a Ukrainian guy, he's a French guy from Winnipeg, so it was pretty challenging for him, but I think that we came up with some really amazing arrangements, but it's definitely because of Carissa Kloposhak. She's an amazing violinist, and she made this album. I really believe that.
Ой, не ходи крицю, та й на вечорниці, бо на вечорницях дівки чарівниці, котра я дівчина чорні правди має, то та я дівчина усі чарі знає, котра я дівчина.
Recording a CD is a huge financial undertaking, and Teresa received help from the Shevchenko Foundation.
The Shevchenko Foundation definitely helped me get this project together. I couldn't have done it without them. I probably would have gone into some severe debt, but they really helped out, and I really want to thank them for that. And luckily, because I met Benoit, he gave me a really good price on the studio, so I managed to keep the budget pretty low, so it worked out.
Will you be touring to promote the CD?
I really hope I'll be touring soon. In the summertime, I have a 40-day tour planned, and it's just sort of depends on whether or not I get a Canada Council grant in order to get this album heard by not only Ukrainians but other people. It's a beautiful album, and I think that a lot of people will appreciate it. You can buy it on iTunes, and I also have it available on www.musicmax.ca. You can buy a physical copy there, and that's where you can buy it.
Ой, мамо, мамо, ріць, жалю немає, на що ж ріць, мамо, мамо, разом двох кохає, нехай він не буде ні тіні вмить, нехай дістанеться ріць сірій землі, нехай він не буде.
The new CD is dedicated to two giants of Ukrainian music who left this world far too soon, Kvitka Sisek and Volodymyr Ivasyuk.
I grew up with Kvitka's CDs, and it was my entire life I've listened to her CDs, and I've admired her voice so much, and so it was kind of inevitable for me to I took a couple of arrangements from her too, because she's such a brilliant woman, and it's definitely too bad, but I thought that it was appropriate to dedicate it to her and to Volodymyr Ivasyuk, because I grew up on this music, and it just seemed so fitting.
Her family back home in Saskatoon have supported Teresa every step of the way on her musical journey.
My parents and my sisters are just the most important people in my world. My dad's always he's been sick my whole life. He had a heart transplant when I was 6 years old, and just to know that he's seen me grow up to be a and experiences. It's so heartwarming. It's wonderful.
And to be on TV from coast to coast,
And to be,
Canadians falling in love with you and voting for you and everything. It's like, that's my kid.
Yeah, they're my biggest supporters, absolutely. And it's just, I feel so proud to call them my parents. They're such incredible people. Like, they work so hard, and they have worked so hard to give me these opportunities, and I have them to thank. Saskatoon will always be my home, but there's just something, I really do believe that I'm supposed to be experiencing things and challenging myself in my life, so it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave my parents behind, but I go back, a couple times a year and catch up, and it makes going home so much more rewarding and wonderful, and you sort of, you realize how much you appreciate it when you're gone.
We thank Teresa Sikierka for spending time with us today on Center Stage, and we hope all of you will catch her when she performs live in concert across Canada this summer. Coming up next week on Center Stage, a very unusual icon exhibit by Oksana Ivanochko of Lviv. Before I leave today, I'd just like to take a moment to wish a very special lady a very happy 100th birthday. Stella Zelchuk of Burlington, Ontario, and formerly of Wasaga Beach, celebrated this milestone this past week. She's been part of my family since the time I was born, and even before that, and we wish her the best. Pani Zelchuk, bажаю вам щастя, здоров'я і многая благая літа від нас усіх. I'm Mikhailo Curry, Center Stage for Kontakt. See you next time.